If you're trying to keep tabs on buried lines, cables, or pipes without digging up the yard every time, you've probably felt the frustration of guessing wrong. One wrong cut and suddenly you're looking at a repair bill instead of a quick fix. That's why tools like the RIDGID SeekTech State Route 20 and ST305 aren't just gadgets, they're insurance against costly mistakes. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. Most people don't realize how often these locators get misused. You see, a lot of buyers pick one based on range or price, only to find out later that the signal gets lost in wet soil or gets drowned out by nearby power lines. That's where the SeekTech line stands out. It's built for contractors and DIYers who need to trace lines accurately without overcomplicating things. The State Route 20 receiver and ST305 transmitter work together to pinpoint depth and direction, which is exactly what you need when you're standing in a trench trying to figure out which way the pipe runs. Now, if you're only dealing with shallow lines under a patio or a short driveway, you might get away with a cheaper model. But once you start talking about deeper runs or multiple utilities in the same trench, those budget locators start giving you the runaround. The SeekTech system uses a 512 Hz signal, which is a sweet spot for penetrating soil without bouncing off rocks or getting absorbed by moisture. That frequency isn't just random, it's the same one used by most municipal and utility crews, so you're working with a standard that's proven in the field. One thing that surprised me when I dug into the specs is how the ST305 transmitter handles power. It runs on either AC or DC, so you can plug it into a generator on a job site or run it off a 12V battery in the field. That flexibility matters when you're on a remote site with no outlets nearby. The State Route 20 receiver, on the other hand, runs on rechargeable batteries, which is great until you forget to charge it the night before a big job. I've seen guys scramble for AA batteries at the last minute, so keep a spare set in your truck just in case. Where this system really shines is in tight spots. Say you're working in a crawl space or between two buildings where GPS won't help. The directional arrow on the receiver guides you right to the line, and the depth reading updates in real time so you know exactly how deep to dig. That's not just convenient, it saves you from over-excavation and the headache of uncovering the wrong pipe. I've used cheaper locators that give you a vague strong signal reading, and half the time you're still poking around with a shovel trying to confirm what you're seeing. But it's not perfect for everyone. If you're only tracing lines under a perfectly dry lawn, you might not need this level of precision. Or if you're a homeowner with a single sprinkler line, a $100 tracer might do the trick. The SeekTech system is overkill for casual use. Also, the learning curve isn't steep, but it's not zero either. You'll need to spend a few minutes with the manual to get the hang of signal strength adjustments and depth calibration. If you're the type who expects everything to work out of the box without reading instructions, you might get frustrated. Another trade-off is the size. The receiver is compact, which is good for portability, but the transmitter is a brick compared to some handheld models. If you're lugging it across a large site, you'll feel it in your shoulder after a while. The yellow housing is bright, which is great for visibility, but it also means it's a target for theft if you leave it unattended on a job site. Not a deal breaker, but something to keep in mind if you're working in areas with high foot traffic. Who should buy this? If you're a contractor, landscaper, or even a serious DIYer who deals with underground utilities regularly, this system pays for itself the first time you avoid cutting into a gas line or damaging a fiber optic cable. It's also a solid choice if you're working in mixed terrain, wet soil, rocky ground, or urban areas with lots of interference. The accuracy and durability justify the price tag, especially when you consider the cost of repairs and downtime. Who should skip it? If you're a homeowner with one-off projects or you're only dealing with shallow, easily accessible lines, save your money. There are cheaper tracers that will do the job just fine. Also, if you're not comfortable troubleshooting signal issues or adjusting settings on the fly, you might end up frustrated. This isn't a set it and forget it tool, it rewards patience and attention to detail. Bottom line, the RIDGID SeekTech State Route 20 and ST305 aren't the flashiest tools in the box, but they're reliable, accurate, and built to handle real-world conditions. They won't